So welcome. My name is Trey, if we didn't do that yet. We'll spend a few minutes in just some breath work. And as I said before, we'll do about 30 minutes of some gentle yoga. And then after that, we'll go into a little bit of a body scan and some sound bath work for you guys. So we'll go ahead and start to take a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. You could even, if you wanted to, if it makes it easier for you to connect to your breath, you could lie down if you want. So the choice is up to you. But find a way that your legs can sit, even if you're somebody who has a funky knee and needs one leg out straight, whatever works for you. And then we'll go ahead and start to close down the eyes. So relax your shoulders, relax the corners of your eyes. Recognize that you've already taken the time out of your schedule and your day to be here. So there's nothing else to be doing, nowhere to be, except right here, right now. As you begin to allow the mind to settle, relax what you can of your body. Notice if there's any tightness in your legs or your arms or your hands. And let everything unravel. If the mind is busy today, you could say to yourself as you're inhaling, I am breathing in. And as you exhale, I am breathing out. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Allow the belly to be soft, the jaw to relax. Even the space between your eyebrows softens down. Notice if there is a texture to your breath, or if there are pauses at the top and the bottom. Can you begin to allow those to smooth and soften away? Letting the breath become circular. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Begin to notice how long the breath is on your inhale and your exhale. Typically, they are different when the breath is working on its own without our awareness. Can you allow the exhale to slow down a bit? Maybe 1 to 3 counts longer than it already is. Soft, steady awareness on the breath. And then can you begin to find that the inhale is just as slow and intentional as the exhale, evening and balancing out the two sides of your breath. And then one last little shift of your breath here. Can you soften down the shoulders and the collarbones and the chest? And let your breath come in and out of the space below your belly button. So maybe you use a hand on your abdomen to find that space. The lowest part of your diaphragm, allowing the nervous system to calm and soften. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. So I invite you, before you open the eyes, to stay with your breath as we begin to move. Allow it to stay soft and supportive to your body. And then whenever you're ready, begin to slowly tuck the chin to the chest, flutter open the eyes, and bring the head back up through the center. Yeah. So we'll start out gentle with a little bit of work for the neck. So as you inhale, take a nice deep inhale and squeeze your shoulders up to your ears. And then as you exhale, sigh it out and drop your shoulders really fast. Yeah, we're gonna do 2 more of those. Inhale, squeezing up to the ears. Letting that come out. Yeah, 1 more time. Inhale deep through the nose. And then exhale, drop your shoulders. Yeah. And then from here, consciously let both the shoulders relax and stay gentle as you let your right ear drop to your right shoulder. So we're not trying to force the ear down to the shoulder, and we're not trying to pull the shoulder up to the ear. We're just opening the neck as much as it wants to here, right? And then you have some choices you could add on to this. You could take that left arm, yeah, we're on the right side, so left arm behind your back, and just let it rest on your low back, or maybe even your fingertips are touching the ground, yeah. And then the right arm could come up overhead as the right fingertips are near the left ear. So this is just for weight and gravity. We're not pulling on the neck here. And then last little choice here. As you inhale, you could turn the head and look up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you could bring the nose down towards the armpit. So just doing these little half circles. Inhaling brings the eyes up to the sky. Exhale draws you down. Maybe do 3 or 4 more of those. Taking your time and allowing your movements to be guided by your breath. Yeah, maybe it feels good to stay in one of those particular spots. And then just as intentional as we got into it, we're getting out of it, right? So if you have that arm over the head, go ahead and let your right arm come back down to your lap. And your left arm come back to the front, and then bring the head back up through the center. Now we'll just move to the other side. So dropping the left ear to the left shoulder. And then you got the same choices. You could wrap your right arm behind your back, and you could let the left arm drape over the head. You could close down the eyes here if you wanted to. And if you liked those movements on the first side, whatever you did the first side, do on this side. So maybe you inhale and you look up towards the ceiling, and then maybe exhaling, looking down towards the armpit. Yeah. And continuing to move on your own breath. Inhales, lifting the gaze. Exhales, lowering. Taking some time to just open up the neck. Maybe you pause in a particular spot. Relax the knees and the hips. And then come to stillness with the head. We'll start to bring that right arm back around. The left arm comes back down to the lap, and the head comes back up through the center. Yeah. So from here, go ahead and take the left leg out to an angle by your side. Right leg's gonna come into the inner thigh. So if you're like me, sometimes you like immediately cramp up. So you might need to adjust your leg from here, all right? So taking your spine, I like to use the points of the shoulders as my direction. So starting to turn the spine to where your nose and your toes are in the same plane here. Keeping the spine nice and elevated and soft, shoulders are still soft and relaxed. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale with your back still straight, just hinging from the hips, we're gonna start to lean towards that left leg. Left knee stays soft, left toes gently pointing up to the ceiling. And you're looking for that very edge of resistance in the body, right? We're not gonna go past that yet. And then the gaze would be towards the toes or the ankle, keeping any sharp angles out of the back of your neck. And taking a few breaths here with the straight back. Hands can be anywhere. I tend to put mine on the sides of my thigh or my calf. Yeah. And then on your next exhale, you can go ahead and let the chin tuck and the back roll forward as much as it wants to. So it depends on your mobility. Maybe you keep your hands exactly where you started. If it's so easy and gentle and you can just do it, that you can touch your toes with your hands, you're welcome to do that. It's up to you. The gaze stays towards the leg or the eyes are closed, but the head is still bent down. And then take a few breaths here. Maybe you notice with your exhales that the body gently starts to open up just a little bit deeper. So maybe you see, sense, feel the muscles of the hamstring and the calf on that left leg softening with every exhale. And then your next inhale, start to slowly roll yourself back up through the center. We're just gonna switch legs, do the same thing on the opposite side. So right leg's gonna come out to an angle, left foot's gonna come into the right thigh. Shoulders are gonna turn the whole torso to face the right foot. Soft right knee, toes up towards the ceiling. And then on an exhale with that straight back, you're gonna find that edge of resistance again as you hinge forward over the right leg. Taking your time getting there, being conscious of how this side is different from the first side. And then also thinking about which is your dominant side. That side is probably going to be tighter than the other. Your next exhale, you could tuck the chin and let the spine roll down as much as it wants to. And then same thing again here. If you can easily touch your toes and that feels good as a little bit deeper of a gentle opening, then you could do that. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Your next inhale, start to slowly roll yourself back up through the center. Yeah, we'll keep that left leg bent, but bring it out a little bit away from the midline of the body. Right leg is gonna bend so the base of the feet are touching. Yeah. From here, don't feel like you have to be trying to get your knees to come down to the ground. That's just your inner hip muscles. They're doing their own thing. Let them be themselves. From here, I want you to just take a test here. So we're gonna flutter the legs But before we do that, I want you to feel and know what it's like to lift your knees with your hands. Your arms are doing all of the work here. Your legs are like as if they were numb and dead, right? And then you're gonna let your legs go. Yeah, so you notice how there's that bounce back, right? It's soft and supple. That's what we want to do when we're fluttering our legs. So we're just kind of like using the activity of the inner thigh to pull them up, but then we're letting them drop at the top, right? So just opening up the hips, getting a little synovial fluid going in there. Yeah. And then let that relax down. So same posture here as we start to hinge forward. We're going to keep the back nice and straight. Shoulders are going to be rolled back and down in their little homes. And then on an exhale, you're going to hinge forward over the legs until you find that very first little spot of tension. Gaze is to the ground, maybe about a foot in front of your toes. Yeah. Maybe you close down the eyes, connecting deeper back into your breath. Your next exhale, you can let the torso roll as much as it wants to forward. So if the hips are really tight and you need some support of the torso to not overextend the thigh muscles, your options are you could have your palms resting on the ground, maybe in front of your toes. Maybe you could put your forearms on your ankles or your shins. Yeah. If you have the flexibility and it's easy to get there, maybe your forearms are all the way down on the ground in front of your legs. And if you're a gummy bear and you're just going even deeper here, maybe your arms come all the way out straight like you were in child's pose. Yeah, your head is going to come to rest down. Even if it's floating, you're going to let the neck go. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Last option here while you stay folded forward. If your knees do float and you would like to be soft with yourself and give a little bit deeper of an opening, you could take the palms or the forearms to the inner side of your knee and gently press them down to the ground as you're hinged forward. All things are optional, not required. Relax the jaw, the shoulders, the neck. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Slowly, slowly start to roll yourself back up through the center. If these legs are comfortable for you, keep them. If not, you can adjust to a different seat. We'll just be moving the arms and doing gentle twists with the back. So I tend to just keep mine here because I'm a little bit lazy, but you can do whatever you want. So let your arms come out by your sides. And then on an inhale, you're going to sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, bend your elbows, twist to the right. Yeah, looking to your right hand maybe. Inhale, you come back up through the center. Exhale, twist to the left, bending your elbows, looking towards your left arm. Keep going on your own breath. Inhale brings you up through the center. Exhale pulls the elbows into the kidneys as you turn to the right. Inhale through the center. Exhale to your left. Maybe you close down your eyes. Keep moving on your own breath. The next time your arms are overhead, Let the left palm come to rest on the ground. Right arm is still going to be up. Bend into your left elbow. Keep the bicep by your right ear as you almost imagine that somebody's got strings on your fingers and is pulling your arm to the opposite side of your body. You can let your torso bend as much as it wants to into that left side. Can you keep your chest still going facing forward with the legs? Gaze is going forward. Yeah. Can you breathe into your right side ribs? Next, inhale, press into that left arm. Bring the arms back up overhead. Exhale, right hand, right forearm comes down to the ground. Left arm gets gently, imaginarily pulled. That's a new word I think I just decided is a real one. To the opposite side. Breathe into your left side ribs. Next, inhale, bring your arms back up overhead. Exhale, bend your elbows, pull them into your kidneys. Yeah. Feel the opening of the front of your chest. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, pulling the elbows back and down. Keep going on your own breath, 2 or 3 more. Inhale, lifts the arms up overhead, really reaching through the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, pulling the elbows back behind you, feeling the collarbones and the sternum getting some space. The next time your elbows are pulled back behind you, can you take maybe 3 breaths here with the chest being open forward and a little bit up towards the sky? Feeling that space of your heart expand and contract. Yeah. And then one more inhale of the arms up overhead. Exhale, you can let them come back down to the lap. Swing your legs to one side, coming into child's pose just for a few breaths. 2 choices, well, there's more than 2, but we're just talking about the legs right now. 2 choices for your legs. If you want a stretch on your outer hip, bring your knees as wide as your mat, your big toes touching back behind you. If you want an opening for your low back, keep your knees close together, toes are probably touching behind you. And then let your torso hinge forward as your glutes travel towards your heels. That doesn't mean they touch, right? The forehead comes down maybe to rest on the ground. Maybe. You try something, you don't like it, you do something else. If your forehead touches the ground, maybe you roll your head side to side to give a little massage to that space of the body. Come back to the awareness of your breath. Can you breathe into your spine? Almost as if you could lift your spine closer to the ceiling since the front of the lungs is compressed. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. If the arms are out straight overhead, start to slide the palms under the shoulders. On an inhale, press into the palms, straightening the elbows, lifting the hips, coming into what would be tabletop. Just for a transitionary moment. Then you're going to swing your legs to one side and come to lying on your back. So whichever direction you put the head or the toes, you're not getting up until after the sound bath. So if you want your head closer to the bowls, heads go this way. If you want to be further away, toes are towards the center of the space. So adjust your clothes, your place on your mat when you get there. And then we'll take the knees, bend the knees. Feet are going to come to rest underneath the knees. We don't have a ton of room, so if you can't get your arms all the way out to a T by your sides, just give yourself a little bit of space to support the torso. The palms are going to face the ground. Yeah. So just enough to kind of to help. You can only hold hands if you have consent. I have to say that all the time. Okay. So left leg, keep it where it is. Right leg, we're going to cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh, just below the knee. Yes. And we're going to move with our breath on this first side. So take an inhale. You're going to keep this posture of your legs. As you exhale, twist the legs to the left so that the right foot is starting to travel to the ground on the left side. Yep. So you'd be going this way. Yeah. Then your inhale is going to bring you back through the center with your legs. Exhale is going to take you to the right. Be okay with that right knee not touching the ground and floating. Inhale is going to bring you back through the center. Left foot is always going to stay on the ground. Inhale through the center. Exhale to your left. Move on your own speed, but I'm just guiding you that as you inhale, the legs come through the center. Your exhale takes you to your opposite side. Option to close the eyes back down to connect to the movements of the body with the breath. The next time that your legs are twisted to the left, meaning the right foot is on the left side of the body on the ground, or floating close by, we're going to leave the legs there and let them rest. It's a gentle twist. You have the option also to turn your head to the right, get a full spinal twist here. Come back to your breath. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. If you took the turn of the head, go ahead and untwist the neck. Use an inhale to bring your legs back through the center. Pause here, moving into supine figure 4. So on an exhale, draw that left thigh into your chest. Wrap your arms around your left leg, either by the knee or under the hamstring. And I'll give you a couple breaths on your own of choices. You could have a straight left leg. Your leg could be bent. You could take ankle rotations with that left foot if you wanted to. Keep your head heavy on the ground. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Is that okay? Right. Your next exhale, bend through that left leg. Let your left leg slowly come back down to the ground. Gently uncross the right ankle. Reset your arms out by your sides, palms to the ground. Cross that left ankle over the right knee. We will not be moving in and out of the sides this time because we already warmed up the back. Take an inhale from here. Exhale, twist your legs to the right. Left foot starts to travel to the ground. Does not have to touch. Option to turn your head to the left. Get a full twist here. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. On an inhale, untwist the neck. Bring the knees back through the center. Exhale, draw that right thigh into the chest. Maybe you wrap your hands around your right hamstrings. Whatever you did on the first side, try on this side. Maybe you straightened that right leg. Maybe you took some ankle rotations. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Relax the jaw, the corners of your eyes. On an exhale, slowly rebend through that right leg. And let your legs come back down through the center. Uncross the left ankle from the right knee. Bring the feet as wide apart as your mat on the ground, still with the knees bent. Yeah. Take an inhale from here. As you exhale, let your legs twist to one side, the knees falling to one side. Inhale, bring you through the center. Exhale, you'll twist to the opposite side. Continuing with your breath. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. The next time your knees are through the center, pause there. Draw both the knees into the chest, wrapping your hands either under the knees or over the shins. And just give a little squeeze, letting your low back have a reset here. Maybe you rock side to side on the ground, if that feels good to you. And then slowly let the knees release. Let the feet come back down to the ground. You can straighten out your legs. Adjust your clothing. Place on your mat. The last little thing we will do is 3 rounds of tensing and relaxing. Let me explain. We're going to use the breath, and I'll be guiding you by saying squeeze, 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 squeeze. When I tell you to let go, you're going to drop what you're doing. So the squeezing part, you're going to purse your lips. You're going to squint your eyes. Grab your, squeeze your toes as hard as you can. Make fists. Clench every muscle you can. And then in the words of one of my students, you're going to drop it like it's hot, okay? You're going to let everything go immediately, as if you've just touched the hottest pan ever with your entire body. So just to get together here, take an inhale and an exhale here. And then inhale, squeeze, 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 let it go. You can do way better than that at dropping it like it's hot. 2 more. Inhale, squeeze, 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 let it go. Yeah, I still think you can do better. Inhale, squeeze, 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 let it go. Yeah, you can practice that at home. Okay. Let go of all control of your breath. make any adjustments to your body, your clothes, your place to get 15% more comfortable than you already are. If you are someone that gets chilly lying still and you don't have a blanket and you want one, you can wiggle your fingers at me and I will bring you one. Close down your eyes. Relax your feet, your ankles, your knees. Relax your glutes. Relax your hips. Let the low belly be soft. Let the palms and the fingers relax. Relax your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders. Relax your throat, the collarbones, the sternum. Relax your spine all the way down to the ground, from your tailbone, through your low back, between the shoulder blades, behind your heart, all the way through the neck to the base of your head. Relax the corners of your eyes, your temples, your jaw, and all the space of your forehead. Let the whole body be soft.
So taking this time to relax your mind by taking a deep breath in and release. I want to invite you to a garden filled with beautiful flowers, blue sky to the eye can see, birds flying. And as you're in this garden, you're reminded of life's abundance. Breathing in and breathing out. As you're walking through this garden, you see a path that leads towards the tree line. Taking your time to walk along this path, looking at all the abundance that life has to offer, seeing the bees float about the flowers, gathering pollen for their hives. Breathing in this abundance, breathing in, and release. As you're walking into the tree line, you start to notice that these are not just ordinary trees, they're aspen trees. And as we know, learning in school, aspen trees are connected at the root, creating a one living organism. And as you start to ponder about the aspen trees, you're reminded of the oneness of life. Breathing this in and release. As we continue to walk along the path, seeing the sunlight glisten through the leaves, we start to come upon a shore. As we look over, we see the big expanse of ocean. Pondering this ocean and its depth, knowing that it is still not fully explored. It might bring up a sense of wonder, or it might bring up a sense of fear. False emotions appearing real. Breathing this in and release. But as you gaze out into the waves and they're crashing on the shore, you're reminded that there is forgiveness. Forgiveness to let go of what might be holding you back. Pondering this question, what can I forgive today? Breathing in and release. As you're thinking of these things, you look up to the sky and you're reminded of space and its infiniteness, ever reaching across the shores of the mind, ever expansive, cosmic galaxies far, far away that the mind can't even fathom. What a mystery, what a universe. Breathing this in and release. And as you start to look through the cosmos, you see a form come from beyond. It's almost human-like, yet it's made of light. And you notice this entity walking closer and closer to you. It doesn't feel like a stranger. It feels like a friend, a deep personal soul friend. As this being is walking closer, breathing this in and release. Not only do you recognize this soul friend, you see that it has something in its arms and it's reaching out to give you. You look closer and closer still, and you realize it's a small child. It has a baby in its arms. What joy, what a gift as I'm breathing this in and release. As you look closer still, you see that this child is not just an ordinary child. This is you. You are the child. Breathing this in and release. Now, as you're looking at this child in its eyes, you think about all the love you could express, all of the things that it has to look forward to in its wonderful life. You stop for a minute and you ask yourself, what would you like to tell this child? Breathing this in and release. Thinking about all the love that you would give a child, what kind of love would you provide this child? Breathing this in and release. Now, looking up at your soul friend, feeling the warmth and the presence of its love wrapping around you. It has something to share with you. And as it draws in, it whispers this in your ear. Breathing this in and release. Now, as you're releasing your soul friend, you're thanking it. You feel the joy, the emotion of love there. And we say, thank you for this time. Thank you for this peace of mind. Thank you for the message and letting me know what's mine. Embracing your soul friend one last time. Embracing your soul child. Kissing it on the forehead. I release you back to the universe. Breathing this in. I release. Now as I start to come back down through the cosmos, clearing to our solar system, seeing the ever familiar, beautiful clouds covering a blue ball that is our home. Swirling back in so cautiously, so gracefully, coming back into this country of the United States, down into Texas, into this meditation hall, back into our bodies, gracefully breathing this in. I release. And as I start to wiggle my fingers, I start to wiggle my toes, I start to rock my head side to side, making gentle movements as I come back into this room, alive, right here, right now. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us for this guided meditation portion. For those who are watching us online, we're going to put up a prompt for you so that way you can participate with our exercise at home. But for those who are in the room, I encourage you to take a couple of minutes to just write down some of the thoughts, ideas, feelings that came through. And then we're going to take a quick bio break and come back into the room.
So take your time getting up, don't rush yourself.
Yes, don't rush yourself, and take your time getting up at home too.
Maybe you take some stretches here to let the body slowly waken back up. If you're still lying down, maybe you take a nice deep breath and a big stretch with the arms overhead.
All right.
Do whatever you need to slowly come back to the body.
And then we're going to thank those who are online with us for the live stream. Once you now see the experience, we invite you to come and join us for our November event.